Hi friends, welcome to Savana's Field. In this video, along with upcoming video, I'll make you an expert in performance testing. Get ready for it. This is an introduction to a few important aspects of performance testing and tester that I'm going to tell you now. I'll be making a series of video that will make you an expert in performance testing. The only recommend is if you're passionate about learning, if so, don't give it up. We'll work together and make it happen.
My vision is add value to your life as much as I can.
Let me give you an example. Always steady and speed wins. Yes, if you look at the current trend, the user wants their app to respond within 2 seconds or less than that. Anything beyond the 2 seconds, you may lose the business. Yes, if you look at the review and ratings, have become more important aspects of judgment for any user before downloading the apps. So the app should be perfect in all the way to ensure the 5 ratings. So performance of any technology should be considered as a most important aspects in the future, right? So since be with any technology, if there is any performance issue, it can be tossed. Performance testing is most important career that will going to play in upcoming future. Having said that, if you look at the current trend, there's a high demand in performance testing resource, whereas there's a lack of candidate available. So we should make use of this opportunity and get expert in it by using this video. So that is a vision of our YouTube channel. I will make you an expert in performance testing.
The topic to be covered in this video are: let's look at first the basic thing as a performance tester must know as a beginner, architecture of the application and how it works. Once we are done with that, let's move on to discuss what is performance testing. Once we will discuss what is performance testing and we will look at the type of performance testing, we will see here how different type of performance test will help to boost the application performance. Post that, we are going to see performance testing process. Finally, we are going to see performance tester roles and responsibility. It's time to get started without further ado. First, let's look at what is the architecture of the application. The first thing you need to learn to become a performance tester is how application works. Basically, we should understand the architecture of the application and how it works and so on, which includes start from the client browser and firewall and proxy, network protocols, load balancer, web server, app server, and the final one is database server. Now let's look at what is firewall. Firewall is a network security device that monitor incoming and outgoing network traffic. Basically, to decide whether to allow or block specific traffic based on the defined set of rules. That is the job of firewall. Firewall can be hardware, software, or both. Now let's move on to proxy. What is proxy? A proxy server acts as a gateway between you and the internet. A proxy server acts as a firewall and a web filter, provide a shared network connection and the cache data to speed up the request. A good proxy server keeps user and the internet network protected from the bad stuff that lives out in the wild internet. I hope I cleared what is proxy. Next, we are going to look at what is protocol. A protocol is a set of rules and guidelines for communicating a data. So basically, rules are defined for each steps and process during communication between two or more computers. Networks have to follow these rules to successfully transmit data. Again, I'm telling it, a protocol is a set of rules and guidelines for communicating a data between two networks. Let's look at how application works. This is a basic thing that as a performance tester should know about it. Currently, the most of the applications are 3-tier application architecture. What does it mean? A 3-tier application architecture is a modular client-server architecture that consists of a
Presentation tier, application tier,
and data tier. Note, you no need to memorize everything, just understand how the application works here. First, let's look at what is presentation tier. This tier, which builds with HTML5, cascading style sheets, that is CSS and JavaScript, is deployed to a computing device through a web browser or a web-based application. The presentation tier communicate with other tier through application programming interface. What is application tier? Application tier, which may also referred to as a logic tier, is written in a programming language such as Java and contains a business logic that supports the application core functions. Data tier. Data tier consists of database and program for managing read and write access to a database. This tier may also referred to as a storage tier and can be hosted on premises or in the cloud. Now let's look at what is performance testing. A performance testing is a software testing process used for testing the speed, response time, the stability, reliability, and scalability and resource usage of software application under a particular workload. The focus of the performance testing is check software programs, speed, scalability, and stability. What is speed? Speed determines whether the application responds quickly and comes to scalability. Scalability determines maximum user load the software application can handle. What is stability? Stability determines if application is stable under varying loads. These three factors we are going to look at in more detail in upcoming videos. Basically, there are two types of performance test. One is protocol based test, another one is browser based test. Let's look at what is protocol based test. Protocol based test stimulate traffic via HTTP protocol and measure the response time. For example, a test might take an HTTP GET request and measure how long it takes the server to respond to the request with a payload. Whereas a browser based test actual web browser that make a request as a real user would, so it assesses both the time it takes for a response, which means browser render time plus server response time clubbing together as a browser based test. So it assesses both the time it takes for a response and the time takes the browser to fully render the response. Web browser that makes request as a real user would, so it assesses both the time it takes for a response, which means browser rendering time plus server response time. Let's move on to discuss about the type of performance testing. There are 5 types of performance testing: load testing, stress testing, endurance testing, spike testing, and volume testing. Now let's look at what is load testing. Load test check the application's ability to perform under anticipated user load. The objective is to identify performance bottlenecks before software application goes live. Load testing check the application ability to perform under anticipated user loads. The objective is to identify performance bottlenecks before the software application goes live. Stress testing. Stress testing involves testing an application under extreme workloads to see how it handles high traffic or data processing. The objective is to identify the breakpoint of an application. Let's move on to endurance testing. Endurance testing is done to make sure the application can handle expected load over a long period of time, which is called endurance testing. Basically, this is the test we are going to conduct to find out the memory leak of the application, if there are any. Move on to spike testing. Spike test the software reaction to sudden large spike in the load generated by the user. Volume testing. What does it mean? Volume testing is large number of data is populated in the database and the overall software system behaviors is monitored. Basically, we are going to include more number of scenario which is related to database operations, so that we are going to monitor the system behavior on the database side. The objective is to check the software application performance under varying database volumes. When you're going to test this volume testing, we should make sure that there is quite a bit of volumes available in the database side, which is similar to the production. Now let's look at what is performance testing process. This is a generic process on how to perform performance testing. The first one is identify your test environment. It should be similar to the production environment in terms of hardware, software, and configuration parameters and the code version too. The next one is identify the performance acceptance criteria. What does it mean? Basically, this includes SLA, KPI. This includes goals and constraint for throughputs, response time, and resource allocation. Basically, SLA and KPI. KPI means key performance indicator. Example, clients looks for each click should not take more than 2 seconds. This is also considered one of the SLA or KPI. Plan and design performance test. In this phase, identify key scenarios and define workload model. When I say identify key scenarios, these are the critical scenarios according to the requirements of the business. Configure the test environment. Make sure selected tool is feasible with client application on the test environment. Implement the test design. Record a script via tool and enhance it. Enhancements includes parameterization and correlation and so on. We will see in detail in upcoming videos. Run the test. Test execute and monitor the tests. The final one is analyze and prepare report. So basically, we are going to look at the response of the each clicks and we look at the logs files. Based on that, we are going to prepare the report and submit it to the client or the developer. The performance testing is not like other tests. The goal of the performance test is not to find a bugs, rather to identify and eliminate performance bottlenecks.
Let's look at the roles and responsibility for the performance tester. The first thing is they should understand non-functional requirement from the business, analyzing critical business scenarios, and analyzing service agreement objectives, which includes KPIs as well, and define the workload model, again with respect to the requirements, develop the test scripts and enhance the test scripts by parametration, correlation and so on. You will see in more detail in upcoming videos. And the next step is test run and test monitoring and analyzing the test results, preparing the test report. Next, we will see the tools from the scratch, which means from installation to submitting final report. So far, we have been seeing what is performance testing and type of testing, what is the performance testing processes and the performance tester roles and responsibility. In the next video, we will look at tool installation, scripting, enhancement, and conducting a load test and preparing the final report. If you like this video, click the like button and subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon next so that you will get a notification when I'm going to upload a new video which will add a value to your life. That is the vision of our YouTube channel, right? Thanks for watching. See you with another video. Till then, see you. Bye. Take care.